where the topics are real, relevant, and relaxing. It's tea talk time, and here is Lady O.
All right. Thank you, Tracy. And hello to each and every one of you. And I am so happy to be here today. As you see, I am wearing purple lipstick, which I typically don't do, but it's for a special occasion. Today, we're going to be talking about lupus. And this is Lupus Awareness Month. And today, you're going to become very well versed and aware of what lupus is, what it's not, how to handle it if you're going through it. We're going to give you some symptoms and some things to do to make yourself very comfortable in the presence of someone with lupus, and also be able to say the right things and do the right things. Okay. So today is Lupus Awareness Month. The whole month is, and the color that you will see around a lot is purple because that is their color. And so you'll see some of my team today, they're wearing purple, and that's in honor of all of our family and friends who have lupus. And we want to make them feel loved. And so we celebrate them today. So help me celebrate all of the lupus ladies and gentlemen. I guess, and I don't even know if that's a thing, if men have it or not. That's going to be one of my questions because I have family and friends, but I don't know all of the answers. So what we're going to do first of all is I've got a little PowerPoint here that we're going to go through real quickly, and then I'm going to introduce you to all of my friends. So let's look at the first slide. As we said, May is Lupus Awareness Month, and it's all purple. And then, so what is lupus? Okay. And let's see, hold on a second. Do that. Okay. So it's an autoimmune immune disease commonly diagnosed between the ages of 15 and 44. And it's 90% of the patients are women. And that's what I talked about earlier, because I don't know any men with lupus. And so maybe our guest today will be able to tell us of some, but all of them that I know are women. So it does affect 90% of the patients are women. And Black people are at higher risk. Now we want to see why is that? Maybe they'll be able to tell us. And it's treated by a rheumatologist. Most people test positive to an ANA blood test that they can do. And this other one, hydroxychloroquine, is most common. It's the most common medication. And if I butcher that up, they'll help me get it right. But the thing about lupus is that it can affect many parts of your body. And on the slide before, it had some of those particular places that we can go back. Just okay, yeah. So it can affect your skin, your heart, your kidneys, your blood, your muscles, your joints, many different places it can affect. And so we'll let them tell us about how that happens and maybe how it affects them. Okay, next slide, please. Some facts about lupus. Okay, lupus is a chronic autoimmune disease that can damage any part of the body. While anyone can be diagnosed with lupus, 90% of the people are diseases are women, and we said that before. Lupus symptoms can range from mild to life-threatening and should be treated by a doctor. So if you have it, don't try to treat yourself. Go to the doctor and get properly cared for. Women of color are 2 to 3 times more likely to be diagnosed, we said that before, and have worse symptoms. We get it. I tell you, us Black women, we just can't get a break, can we? Okay. On an average, it takes nearly 6 years for people with lupus to be diagnosed. And that's a long, long time. If you need more information after this show, just make sure you look up lupus.org slash Heartland, and you can get more information because we just have an hour show. But without further ado, I want to introduce you to our friends today, some marvelous women who are living with lupus, and they're looking beautiful, but they can tell you all the ins and outs. And I'm going to bring on the first one is my daughter. I'm gonna say daughter is my sister-in-law, and I call her sister-in-love, and Gwen. And I know as long as I've known Gwen, she's married to my brother. she's had lupus, but we never really talked about it. So Gwen, come on, welcome and tell us about lupus, your first experience with lupus.
Um, my first experience was at the age of 15, and it took a year before they realized that I had lupus. So I was tested in and out the hospital for a whole year, and I was diagnosed at age 16. And so I've been living with it for 35 years now.
Wow, you look
Yeah,
beautiful.
thank
Yes,
you.
you do.
And so as far as lupus, it has affected me. I lost a lot of my hair. It grew back. I've had a kidney transplant, and I've had both of my shoulders, both of my hips, and my right knee replaced. So the joints are because of I was on such a high dose of prednisone. So that's what tore up my joints. But my doctor did tell me once I was diagnosed that they were probably going to tear up every joint in my body, but they were going to save my life. So I'm glad that I was able to, get my life saved, because back then they didn't know much about lupus. So it was good to know that she was fighting for my life. And yes, men can get it. So men are more prone to get it also.
Okay, wow. Well, I didn't know it was that young when that you've been dealing with it that long, but from what I'm hearing, what you're saying is very important to listen to your body and go get medical help. And so,
Yes,
because you went to get medical help, you were properly diagnosed. And I imagine that's why you've been able to do so well too, because you got a good doctor who
right.
wants to save your life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, okay, well, great. Well, don't go away. We got other questions for you. But welcome
Okay.
to Be Talking. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here. And we are celebrating you today.
Thank you.
Let's go to D next. D, hi, come on, talk to us. Say hello to Tea Talk women here.
Hey, Miss
And uh-oh, you're breaking up.
Deb,
Okay. You still got a bad connection. We can't hear you. Let me come back to you. See if you can work on that. See what's going on.
all right.
Let's go to Darlene, and I'll come back to you, D. Okay. Darlene, are you
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
Hey, well, tell us about lupus.
Oh, well, I don't have lupus. I'm Jocelyn's cousin, so I'm here to support her.
Oh, let's give it
Yeah.
up. Okay. I'm going to come back to you in a minute talking about support system, because that is really, really key too. All
Amen.
right,
Yes, it is.
Jocelyn, let's talk to you. You got a support system. Can you get the mic off of mute? There you go.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, thank God for my support system, my mom, my brothers, my whole family, my cousin Dolly, my niece Janelle. Just thank God for that. Um, and I'm kind of like a newbie to lupus. I got diagnosed uh, at age 41. And just like Sister Gwen said, it takes them time to find out what's the problem, because they thought I had rheumatoid arthritis. And so they were treating me for arthritis for maybe about 6 or 7 months. And so not knowing with all that time, it's damaging my kidneys. But, just as you said, most doctors don't even know what it is or how to treat you. And so it's just almost like wasting time. You're wasting time. And so, yeah, and I've been
Doc,
diagnosed.
let me ask you this before I forget, because I didn't ask this Gwen. What kind of doctor should you be going to, or you just go to your regular doctor and they start trying to kind of eliminate things?
Well, yes, ma'am, because I just kept having pain and pain. So I was going to my regular doctor, and so he kept running all these tests. And when he depleted all his tests, it was nothing else he can do for me. And so he sent me to a rheumatologist.
Okay, and that's what they said before. And so let's get back to do this real quickly too about symptoms, because you are 41. Did you not have any symptoms in your teenage years, or did you just kind of ignore them?
No, I didn't. I didn't have any symptoms. I started having symptoms. I want to say maybe. Well, I want to say maybe when I was 40, in my late 40s, I was having joint pains in my right hand and in my right leg.
Okay, kind of like arthritis.
Yes, ma'am. And it was just getting worse and worse and worse. And so I knew something was wrong. I just didn't know what was wrong.
Mm, okay, so then you finally get diagnosed and you go to a rheumatologist. So what
Um, I'm finally diagnosed. I go to the rheumatologist, and I would never ever forget this doctor. His name was Dr. Ashraf Coachumwala. He's at Memorial Hermann on
okay?
16. I would never forget him. And that man looked me in my eyes and told me, "It's nothing. It's just lupus. It's
Oh,
just like blood pressure medicine. You just take a pill every day." I would never forget that. But that is so not true.
yeah. I
That
know you've
is
been
so
scared to
not true.
death, and for him to say it's just lupus, I
It's
mean, that kind of
just
puts
lupus.
fear down,
Yes.
anxiety there. Oh,
Yeah, that's what he told me. But I had to find out on my own, and I did. And so I just had a rough journey. It's been very rough. To where I also have kidney failure. I just um, was diagnosed with kidney failure last year, and so now it's been a year that I have to take dialysis, and so I am waiting on a kidney. Um, but I I haven't had just really just bad episodes like some lupus warriors that I know, but I've been through some things. Um, 4 years ago or 3 years ago, I just recently started back walking because I went into the hospital with a lupus flare up. So my side was just aching real bad, and then I walked in, but then I didn't come out to 3 months later, and so I had to learn how to walk again. I mean, I couldn't do anything, and so I'm just really kind of getting my walking regimen and everything back.
right. Well, you said a word there that I have heard several lupus survivors, warriors say, a flare up, because it can just you be going well and something just flares up the next day. Do you
Yeah.
find that to be the case?
Yes, ma'am. And it's so often, and that's why, just like you said, it's so important for you to have family and friends that really understand, because this disease is you it's so unpredictable. I can wake up in the morning and I can feel just fine, but by noonday I can just be sick as a dog. And some people would tend to say that she just want attention, and it's not that at all.
I'm glad you said that, because I know one of the things that we have experienced with African American women, that they say that they don't get the care they need from doctors because they think you're just faking, you're wanting attention. Oh, suck it up. You ladies know how to take pain or whatever. So I can just only imagine what you going through too. And as a young woman, both of you all are young, and we're going to talk about that in a minute, about your family and your having children and having to do your chores around the house, cleaning up. So be thinking about something because you're going to be encouraging somebody else. I know that this particular disease can be very um, disappointing and unpredictable, sometimes even depressing. So
Mhm.
talk about that too, because you want to encourage somebody else. Because if you're on that kind of roller coaster that's so serious, I'm sure sometimes you might get a little bit down, and that's
Uh,
why the support system is.
yeah, I do. I have my days. Everybody look at me and they think I'm always so happy and jolly and cheerful. But I have my days. I have those days where I'm always asking, God, why me? Why me? And then so I just surround myself with a lot of positive people that can pour into me, when I'm weak and when I need help. And like I say, my family, that's my biggest supporter, especially my mom, and even in her sickness, just is my biggest supporter. And I always have people that I can talk to, and that will make me laugh and will make me cheer up. We will ponder on the things that I used to do. And so it just brings joy. So I try to just do a lot of things that will keep me from being depressed, and that will just keep my mindset right, because it is definitely a mindset thing. And especially when I go into the dialysis unit, I go Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. That's so depressing, just to know that I have to take these hours out of my life just to continue to live.
Continue to live. Well, we're going to be praying for you. Are you on the kidney transplant list?
Yes, ma'am.
Gwen was on there. Gwen, uh, tell us about your trip, your journey with kidney transplant, because I know you eventually were able to get one.
Yeah, I once I started having kidney failure, I got on the list, but I didn't do the hemo, which is where you go into the facility, because I was afraid of getting depressed. So I didn't do that. I did the dialysis at home, peritoneal, so that I can be around family, and I asked them for a long cord. So when I when I would hook up to the machine, I had enough line to go and sit in there with my daughter and spend time with her, so that it didn't bother me as I thought it would if I went into hemo. So I didn't do the hemo, so I can't really speak to that. But I had
Good
family
information,
members,
though. That's good information to give to people, that you don't have to go in,
right?
and that
Yeah,
it could be very depressing, adding to your depression, that you already
right.
have the disease, to have to go there with that, especially at a young age too.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I chose the peritoneal, and my family all went in and got tested to donate to me. And my mom was originally wanting to do it, but they sent her through a lot of things to where she just didn't donate. But I ended up getting a donation from my second cousin, which they told me that it probably wouldn't work because of the fact that we were second cousins. But my God, he can work things out. So
Oh,
she went in, and she was a perfect match.
wow.
And so she donated her kidney to
How
me.
many years ago has that been? Because it's been a little while too, right?
Yeah, it's been 6 years.
6 years. I remember that.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
let's hear from Dee. Did you get your voice computer? Let's see if we can hear you.
Better. Able to-
Not yet. You may have to go on your phone to do it. If what is happening is, or you get closer to your internet. You have to get closer to your internet, because you start a sound and then you cut off. You can try it one more time and see. Is that right, y'all? Am I telling it right?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Um,
No, it's not going to work. Okay, somebody try to help Dee coax her through getting everything ready, maybe on the phone and just having the voice, because I do want to hear your story, Dee. Okay, so Jamia, can you come on now? Or
Hi.
you that beautiful hat and all that hair. Tell us your story, Jamia.
Well, I'm a supporter as well. My auntie is Jocelyn.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm just here supporting her.
So she got a whole village that come to support her, huh? Now, y'all say one more time. Let's see. Do I have another person who is, dealing with the lupus? I want to get them on first. If not, then I'm gonna go to my supporters. Y'all help me because I don't know who's who. Is there anybody else on this separate D? Is D a supporter or a warrior?
She's a warrior.
Okay. You want to get your phone and just, Tisha, can you just talk to her how to dial in? And then if she turns her volume off, we can hear her sound through her phone. She just can't have them both on. But we'll come back. Okay, now, so tell me about the support group. What do you all do and how has it been to be, when you first, well, start off like this, when you first found out that your loved one or your friend had lupus, what did you think? What were your questions? What were your fears? You sure? I think it's fine. You're not putting on your thing you had on last night, the brown one. I'm sorry, guys. Who's going first? Darlene, let you go first, Darlene.
Oh, all right then. First of all, Jocelyn, she's like one of my favorite cousins. I'm the oldest in the family, so they look at me as like the mother figure of them.
Uh-huh.
Anything that she feels, I feel.
Okay.
So, I mean, we stay on the phone a lot of times. We talk about different stuff. I always try to keep her lifted up, with her spirit and everything. And like she says, sometimes she does have her good days, and sometimes she does have her lower days and things like that. And people look at her like,
that she's having a good day, or you just pick it up? How do you know?
I know. I just know.
You're there, you're feeling her, so you know this is not a good
every
day.
day, all day, like 4 or 5 times a day.
Okay.
I mean,
okay.
we have a good relationship, and that's with everybody in our family.
Uh-huh.
But just like she said, sometimes she can walk around with that beautiful smile, but people don't know the story behind that smile, And that's what me and her were just talking about today. Even with her smile, she kind of feels like she allowing Satan to take that away from her. And I try to explain to her, you can't give in to him.
Right.
Because
right.
that's what he wants to do. See, his mission is to destroy her, to destroy the beauty that she has.
Right.
And she has a beautiful spirit, and she cannot allow him to come in because, like you said, they're the spokesperson for the lupus. So she represents not only lupus, but she also represents Christ.
Exactly. Come on now.
So she can't go around looking defeated, and like she said, sometimes she feel like people talking about her and stuff. So that's all in your mind.
Yeah. Well, you have to understand that people, and I heard y'all say this earlier, and we all kind of know it, but I think it's very important to know, you have to be careful who you allow around you. The village around you needs to believe in you and support you and know that they can come in talking about all of the sad, trap stuff or asking scary questions or whatever. And so I think that it's good that you guys are around her, but what have you ever had anybody that was negative around you, and how do you handle negative people or people who can kind of take you there? I don't know if that's for the work, the help working warriors.
That's a gospel right there.
Okay, go ahead. Who's talking?
I can talk, but I really can't answer that question, Lady O, because I just when I changed my life for Christ, it's just, God shifted a lot of people out of my life that meant me no good, and so I kept moving forward. So I really just don't have a lot of um, negative people speaking, pouring negative energy into me. Or my family for that. And so I just really can't answer that.
Well, you are blessed, and I know Gwen knows the Lord and has called upon the Lord many times. I see that cross behind you, and I know it's not just something on the wall. This young lady, she has called me. We have prayed together, and I know she's helped my brother get back in church and keeping him on the straight and narrow. So Gwen, what about family members that they're not negative, they just don't know what to say, or sometimes they do the wrong thing and they don't mean to? Um, how do you have people to help? How do you tell them how to help you and how to not do that when they mean well, but it's really not good? You know what I'm saying?
Well, because a lot of people do judge the book by its cover, you do have to let them know when you're not feeling well. And the only time that I actually was having issues was when I was working, because one, like Jocelyn was saying, 1 minute you can be all fine, then all of a sudden it can turn on a dime to where you're not feeling well, but people say, oh, she's faking now, oh, she's not sick, because it does change, and because most of the time we are trying to uphold our spirits and keep motivated, that a lot of people take that as we feel fine.
Right.
So
That brave face, but that doesn't mean that that's what you're feeling inside.
exactly, you try not to look like you feel,
Okay.
because that's what keeps you going, is not looking like you feel.
Mhm.
And so because I've been dealing with this so long, my family members pretty much have seen me go through a lot. So when I tell them I'm not feeling well, or share with them that, if I'm 1 minute okay and 1 minute I'm not, they pretty much understand, because they've seen me go through a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't really get that too much with my family. If I say I'm not well, they kick it into gear. They don't want me overdoing myself. So most of the time I was having problems with work. And
So,
so,
yeah, tell me about that. So, if you have lupus, does that mean you can't work anymore, or you have to be on disability? What? Tell me about how do you work with lupus?
well, I mean, you can work, you just have to find work where people do understand. If you have to be off, you can be off, which, is hard depending on what type of work you do. I'm on disability, but I actually do work. I was working also, but I worked from home, which really is the easiest thing for me, is working from home. And I was doing customer service,
Mhm.
so it wasn't something that required a lot of me walking around. Yeah, it wasn't strenuous.
Well, good, good, good. So that's good to know. So find the kind of job that you can do and work. This disease that we've been through, this pandemic, has really helped us to understand we can do so much work from home and be productive. And like I said, when you're at home, if you need to sit down or lay down or whatever, you can kind of still do your work and pace yourself. So I think that's a good note to see. Dee, are you ready? Let's check you again.
Uh,
You got your mic muted now. Okay, Tima, yeah. Okay, D, try it. No, D, I gotta hear your story. You got to get on the telephone. Y'all help D get on the telephone because I gotta hear her story. It's not working on the computer for some reason, and sometimes it'll snap out of it. Sometimes it's just not gonna work. So somebody who knows about computers or whatever, get her on another way. Johnny, did you have something you wanted to say about working and caring for people, family and friends with lupus?
Well, I just recently my auntie had a walk, and we walked about, well, you could do 1, 2, or 3 miles, and I actually did 2. Me and we came and supported my auntie, and we walked 2 miles with her.
So that's like is it like a fundraiser, a walk for lupus or something like that?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Oh, that's a lot of fun. And so that's one of the things, that you can do when you're asking, what can I do? I don't have any family or friends who have lupus, but there are lots of walks. And that's one of the ways that I found out about, I was reminded of lupus this month because Shelley, who's an avid walker, she was telling me that they were doing a walk for lupus. And so I said, oh, we gotta have a show. We gotta get on and get people informed and do our awareness. So this is a part that I'm doing, making everybody aware and being able to share the information out there. And so maybe you can walk. You can't walk, maybe you can donate. Is there a lupus foundation or something that you all give, or does anybody know the link or the name of the foundation?
Yeah, it's just the Lupus Foundation of America, and they do have a website.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine if they just Google Lupus Foundation, it'll come up. So
Right.
be a great thing to give to, and the fact that it affects so many African American women. Like I said, we already have so many strikes against us. This will be a great way to support our women. So, are there any triggers for lupus that you're doing good in certain things? Do you learn that there's something that you shouldn't do? Um, Maybe like not get enough rest, and you might have it may trigger an episode, or is it just unpredictable completely?
For me, my triggers are the sun. Like I can't be in the sun for long extended times. I can't be in the heat. Those kind of things are what trigger mine. So I try to make sure that I'm limiting my time in the sun and also wearing sunscreen.
Right, and keep your umbrella or something if you have to go out or find yourself standing.
Right.
Okay. So anybody else have triggers or anything that you have to avoid or that will help?
Yes, I'm just almost like Sister Gwen. My triggers are the sun as well, and I had to learn from that when I was in the sun for a long period of time, and I caught a butterfly rash. It's called a butterfly rash.
Really?
Yes, it's a butterfly rash. So
Goes
that's
all
one of
over
the.
the face, kind of like a butterfly, huh?
Yes, ma'am. That is one of the symptoms for those that don't know what's going on with that. It is called a butterfly rash, and that's what I caught. And I think I had it for maybe like a week and a half. And you just had to stay in the house, and that's when I learned that the sun was my trigger. So I'm
So
kind of careful in the sun as well. And then they say go out and get the vitamin D, but
it's not, yeah, that was not a good one for you. I just, well, I guess in moderation, get a
yeah,
little bit or don't get direct sun.
yes, yes.
Different kinds of sun you get. I didn't know that that the sun on the beach was very, very, the rays are a lot more powerful because of the water, and you can get an inside sunburn deep in your
Mhm.
skin by laying out on the beach. And you with the water, and it's very cool. But that the rays are certain ways, so I'm sure you have to worry about all of those kind of things too. Did they get you fixed up? Please. Oh, okay. Can anybody put the phone number? Tisha, are you on? Can you put the phone number on for her to call in? Because I know there is a call-in number. I just don't know it.
Yeah, it's in the chat.
It's in the chat. Okay. Can you just give it to me? I'll call because I don't see it, but I'm sure it's probably there. I just don't see. Chat. You know, I don't work there. Oh, I see it. Okay. It's on here from Tisha to everyone. 1-346-248-7799. Okay. So if you go ahead and put that in there, she may not have been able to get to it. So we are going to be wrapping up in a few minutes, guys, but I want to get Dee in here. Dee, did you get that? 346-248-7799. Call that on your phone, and then you can put it on speakerphone and we can hear you and see you. And we're going to see if it works as far as the feed, inner feed. Now, for all of my team, I know you guys had some questions. You all want to come on and say hello and ask your question. Flair, Tracy, and Deborah. Deborah, you got on your purple. Deborah wears purple all the time, so she's always honoring you guys. That's her favorite color. And I don't know if she is dressed in purple tonight or not. Deborah, you on? She may have stepped away for a minute. Let me see. There she, look at her. Look at her. Got her walls painted purple. You ought to quit. But everything she okay, take off your
okay. Yeah, I have lavender top on.
Oh, lavender top on. And the purple and lavender walls behind you, you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you have a question or a comment or something to say to the ladies?
No, I just have a special place in my heart for women who have lupus because I have a real good friend that she probably was in her 30s and found out that she has lupus. And if she's had one thing wrong, she's had 99. You know, she's been in the hospital a lot. So, you know, I really, sympathize and empathize with. Yeah, and I know there's a lot can go. She got a kidney and then the kidney, failed.
Yeah.
So now she's back on dialysis. So, happy for you, Gwen.
Well, and someone said it earlier that these are warriors, and that's what I look at them as, because you're right. There seems like there's always something that kind of flares up, from nowhere. But there are good times, and I just watching Gwen and dealing with her children and my brother, and when they come down here for Thanksgiving and things like that, there are some happy times. So you just have to go with the good and, understand that there's going to be some tough times, but I always say this too shall pass. So just know that there's so many wonderful times. I know Gwen has one daughter. Tell us about marriage and having babies. Dee, did you tell me when your phone is on? Dee, you just start talking when your phone is on because I don't know when you're ready. Okay, Gwen, go ahead and tell us about marriage. And when you were with lupus, did you ever think, oh, I may not get married or I may not have children? What were your fears about becoming an adult woman?
I didn't think I would get married. I definitely didn't think that. I knew that I wanted kids, but they told me that I wouldn't be able to have kids because of the fact that the medication that I was on, it wouldn't be good to have children, and I couldn't come off the medication. But I did ended up getting pregnant, and my doctor was not happy. I think he was more afraid because I had been seeing him since I was 18. So when he found out that I was pregnant, he was like, if you do this again, I won't be able to see you again. So I think he was more afraid for me than, being mean. So But I ended up getting pregnant, and the whole pregnancy, it was tough. I was, having some hard times to where even they thought that she would have Down syndrome. And so I had to go through the amniocentesis where they stick the needle in your stomach. And so they pulled me in the room and they were like, if this it comes out to be that she has Down syndrome, would you want to terminate? And I was like, no. If she does have Down syndrome, I'm still gonna love her the same. So they really wanted me to terminate pregnancy, but I was determined. I came off my medication and I just fought through it. And I ended up having a healthy baby girl. She gave me a hard time, but she came out healthy and
Cute as a button, and she just graduated college, and so
yeah,
I mean, a normal little girl, and
yeah,
all her little ways as a teenager.
yes, she is. She's a healthy girl, and
Right.
I stay on her to stay up with her doctor because lupus is hereditary. So I want to make sure that if she has symptoms, if something is going on, that she's staying on top of it. But so far, she is not having any complications.
Praise the Lord. And that was going to be
Mhm.
my last question was, is it hereditary? Because I didn't know the answer to that. So it is hereditary.
Yes.
But you don't know that you're passing it until the child is far along and you have to do the amniocentesis to find that out.
Right. Right.
Right, good. Anybody else want to share a DJ? Whenever you're ready, D, you just start talking because I'm going to stop whenever you start that I can hear you. Are you speaking in your cell phone? Okay. So you know what the problem is with you then? The problem is your speaker is not on because if you can hear yourself, we still can't hear you, but we can see you. So tell you what we're gonna do now. Can one of the other ladies give her your number, Tisha, or somebody let her call and be on your speakerphone? Because her speaker is not working.
Yeah, she's on my phone.
Okay, come on, D, tell us your story.
I first started having
at 19. I started off with skin rash, joint pain. Then I went into having a pregnancy, which flared me up real bad. But back at the time when I found out I had lupus, they didn't know much, especially for Black women.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm 55. I'm on the transplant list and on the list for a heart. And all of this has been because of lupus. But I will say I have a good support team with my family. Jocelyn at dialysis. So it's good to know that it's someone, that actually are going through what you're going through. So we keep in touch and motivate each other. But I do want to let people know that stress will cause you to have flare-ups. And if you're not with the right kind of doctor, it will cause a problem for lupus. Because they told me for many years I had rheumatoid arthritis, and it wasn't, it was lupus. And it's no one in my family has it, so I can't say it's hereditary. But I do know that it's been some bad times, but I didn't have more good times. Yeah. So when I meet someone and they say they have lupus, I try to talk to them and interact with them and change phone numbers. Mm-hmm. But the main important thing is you have a skin problem, joint pain, hair falling out. As a female, I would ask for you to please try to ask them to check for lupus. Because a lot of times we go years and years and we don't know, what we have. Mm-hmm. But
that's good information.
For the most part, people see me, I try to just let them see me being happy, but every day is not happy days. But you gotta kind of motivate yourself.
Yeah.
But it's just
No,
pray about it and it's your
when-
support group.
Right. When you said that, I thought about Yolanda Adams, that encourage yourself in the Lord. And one of the things that I have heard from all of you here, that you all you have the Lord in your life, you have a prayer life, and you have to encourage yourself in the Lord. And that gives you the strength to be able to go through what you're going through, because we know it's not hard. And Dee, you just mentioned something I wanted to ask you about. You said support groups. Are there support groups that you all are, or do you create your own, or are there official support groups that you can join?
Group that you can join. Now, I have thought about it, started one, and it's like every time I start, I end up having some issues in the hospital. But it is something that I want to start, and like on my side of town in the area I'm in. And so I'm probably going to get with Jocelyn and maybe, find out some things. But yeah, they have support groups you can go to.
Good. And so do you check with your doctor, or are you checking with the Lupus Foundation, or how do you find out about groups?
With the Lupus Foundation on their website.
Okay.
And some hospitals offer it too, if you ask them.
Mm-hmm. Well, y'all have been giving some really great information, and I guess there's so many more things probably people have questions, but I'm hearing you all say, go to the Lupus Foundation, the website, and you can find out a lot of information there. Ask for help, and ask for help from the appropriate people that know how to help you, that are professionals, and don't sit at home and go, woe is me, and miss out on the wonderful days. Because that song that says, I've had some good days and I've had some bad days and I've had some hills to climb, but my good days outweigh my bad days, so I won't complain. So I think that's what I've heard from you guys, is that you may feel like that. You don't look like what you feel like. So you encourage yourself and understand that on the good days, I'm gonna jump in and enjoy those, and on the difficult days, I'm gonna ride it through and pray and encourage myself that this too shall pass. Is there anything else that you all want to say that maybe I didn't ask you the question, or even my team, if you wanted to ask a question? I've kind of talked a lot too much here. Anybody? Okay, very good. So here are some ways we found that you can support. And I love the purple and the butterflies. And I think Shelly, I want to thank Shelly for that, and Tisha, whichever one of y'all did it, but thank y'all. So ways to support a loved one with lupus. Number one, be educated about lupus. And that's what we try to do today, is to educate you, inform you, so you'll know what it is and what it's not, and you'll be able to react in a positive way. Be supportive. Be intentional about going over to support that person. Don't wait for them to call you. You find ways to support them. Be a good listener. Don't always try to have the answers or try to give them advice, what your doctor said. Just be a good listener and discuss lupus, in a way that you are intelligent about it. And be kind when they're not doing well, or when they're having their difficult days. And sometimes you want them to be one way and they're not feeling that way. Just be kind and supportive. Be patient, because they're trying and they look well, but they may be feeling like, be understanding when they can't help do the dishes or help clean up or cook or whatever it is you want them to. Just be understanding with whatever they are saying that they're going through. Be helpful. Be humorous. I heard somebody say that earlier. Come over with some jokes. Don't come over with no sad stuff. Make me laugh. Give me something to take my mind off of what I'm going through already. And be loving. Hugs. Don't hug too tight. It may be a part that's too sore, but just be loving and just be there. I think that's the last one they said. Just be there. Don't be at your house and saying, call me if you need me. No, just be there. They need us so, so much. And if you're out of town, just pick up the phone and call them. Say, hey, how you doing? I was thinking about you. I do that for Gwen. I'll just call her every once in a while and say, hey, I was thinking about you. How's it going? And pray with them. I would say pray with them and pray for them when you're not with them. But also when you call them, give a prayer or give them one of those little books that kind of talks through the day that they can pray themselves and read something encouraging. Well, listen, that's our time for today, and it has been wonderful. Remember to wear your purple and share when you're wearing this purple. Share with people while you're wearing this purple, and so then that will, start a conversation so that you can do what I'm trying to do today is share the knowledge, inform them, and help them to be a better warrior or either a better supporter. That this is my time, guys. It's up, but we could go on and on and on. But thank you, all of my guests, for being here today. God bless you. You are wonderful warriors, and we will be praying for you every day and checking on you. Love you guys, and I'll see you next Sunday at Tea Talk with Lady O at 3:00. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Thank y'all for coming.